What up, y'all? So let's talk about it, man. Braylon Womack had this to say, obviously, about the Auburn situation and them scoring points. He said, "You got to score 20 or more points to compete, and we've done that 0 times in SEC play. It doesn't look like it's going to change. Nothing's changing." Obviously, you never want to hear this from a commit, number one. Number two, it doesn't look good for you as far as your program and your team. And three, you know your defense for Auburn, if you're the Tigers, has been balling and playing at a high level, right? What has been the problem? Your offense. They're not scoring points. When your defense is getting stops, they're not putting points on the board, right? Is play calling a factor? Sure. Is quarterback a factor? Sure. Is getting the receivers and scheming them open a factor? Sure. But the issue is you don't want your recruits talking like this, especially if you're trying to land a better class. Now, Auburn did good, flipping Shadarius Tootle from Georgia. Obviously, he was Auburn commit, flipped to Georgia, flipped back to Auburn. But you're showing that defensively you can come in there and have success, but you're showing, like, offensively, hey, this might not be the spot to be at. This might not be the place to try to come to if you're the Auburn Tigers. And that bears the question, is it time for Auburn to make a QB change? And rightfully so. I think that is a question on the table for Auburn. No disrespect to Jackson Arnold, you know what I'm saying? But sometimes you might need to make a little switch up. Do you need to go with your backup? Do you need to go with a young true freshman in Deuce Knight? Is it time to make a change, right? And Hugh Freeze already came out this week and said, hey, we would love to hear, a backing from, basically his AD. And just so y'all don't think I'm lying, here is the post from On3 Sports. Obviously a very reputable source nationally here in college football. Says he would like to get a public vote of support from Auburn AD John Cohen. It would be huge. Tells you all you need to know. A team searching for answers that's trying to figure it out. Now, part of the blame is on Hugh Freeze. Part of the blame is not on Hugh Freeze and what he's been able to do with this program and this team, right? Went out into the portal, you get the quarterback, and obviously Jackson Arnold. You went and got a prize 4-star/5-star QB prospect. But sometimes you got to change stuff up. You have to give different looks and figure out, what you're going to do. And I think if Hugh Freeze, you want this public backing from your AD, you're going to have to make a QB change. Because if your recruit is saying stuff like this and somebody that likes your program, this already tells me he has a seed of doubt already planted in his mind. And this is already telling me that he doesn't know, if Auburn's going to ever be able to score points. He already said nothing's changing, right? And it's not going to change. That is not a good look. So if you Hugh Freeze and you Auburn, you got to figure something out, right? And obviously that starts with, potentially thinking about if you struggle again this week, maybe a different quarterback at the helm, right? You should be able to score points with this receiving core in these weapons. Jeremiah Cobb, Eric Singleton Jr., Cam Coleman, Malcolm Simmons, Perry Thompson. You should not be putting under 20 points a game with that kind of offense. The SEC defenses are good. They're not what they've been in years past. You shouldn't be struggling against some of these teams, especially teams like, Missouri, respectfully, and several of the other teams. You should be able to put up points. So will Auburn make the change? Let's find out.